Michelle Burt,
Yes.
you and Damona King
Yes.
are suing the defendant, Tyranne Marquis,
Yes.
for $4,980 refund for a dress, emotional distress, and related fees.
Yes, that is correct.
And you are countersuing, sir, for $980 for the balance owed on a dress you made for the plaintiff.
Yes.
Okay, we'll start with you, Ms. Burt. Tell me what's going on here.
Okay, what's going on? My daughter met the defendant through a mutual friend to have her prom dress made. She had saw some of his work, so what she did, she set up an appointment to go and see him to have this dress made.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a tailor. I'm also a student. I go to the Art Institute of New York for design.
Very nice. How long have you been sewing?
Since I was 8, my grandfather was a tailor for about 50 years. He was actually James Brown's tailor. And my uncle, who's from Africa, he's also a tailor.
Okay, and do you work in a shop?
I actually, my uncle owns a barbershop close to the city where I'm from. And
New York?
Yeah, and I rent the basement from him. That's where my studio is.
Okay, let me see the samples of your work you submitted to court. What is this, sir?
This
What's
is
on
a
the
sample
screen?
of my full collection that I did in 2013, and this is the ad that I used to promote my collection for that season.
You made all the clothes
Yes.
in the photo?
Yes.
Very nice.
This is also a sample of my full collection from the same year that I did. It was called Concrete Jungle. It's a wool cape coat.
Okay, and how did you hear about him and that he could custom make prom dresses?
I heard about Tyranne from my boyfriend's sister, and I seen some of his work on Instagram.
Got it. And did you hear that he was custom making prom dresses?
Yes, I saw his work on Instagram, and he made long dresses, and he was making other people's dresses while he made mine.
When did you first approach him and have a conversation with him about making a dress for you?
The first time I met Tyranne was late April. That's when we went to go get our measurements, me, my boyfriend, and his sister.
Okay, go ahead. Tell me what happened.
She went to him, she did give him a deposit. She showed him the picture of the dress that she had, and I have it right here also if you'd like to see it.
Okay.
The picture of the dress that she wanted. She gave him the picture, asked him, can you make this dress? He said, yes, I can make this dress.
And what was the deadline?
Okay, actually he said a week before the prom.
When was the prom?
The prom was June 4th. This is when the dress supposed to have been done, a week before the prom.
And this was in April?
Yes.
Yes.
Do the two of you have a written agreement?
Oh yes, they do have a written agreement.
Okay, and that's from April too, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Okay, let me see the dress. This was the design
Yes.
that you were supposed to be inspired by to make
Yes.
her dress.
Yes, exactly.
And there would be certain changes based on the color of her boyfriend's tuxedo
Yes.
to match his tuxedo.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
When she immediately came to me, I explained to her that I was able to do the design, but a lot of people don't know when celebrities are, going to the Oscars, going to the Met Gala, the designers have, special relationships with fabric mills. So they have access to fabric that I myself don't have access to.
Oh, of course. I mean, that's probably a $10,000 gown.
Exactly.
And she's hired you to pay how much for it?
$600.
$600. So obviously it's not going to be the exact type of gown Eva Longoria had, but the design is inspired by that gown.
Yes.
So may I see a copy of the written contract that the two of you, you don't really think that she's going to get a $10,000 gown?
No, I did not, but
okay.
may I say something, please? First of all, the price of the dress was not $600, and we want to tell the truth here in the court.
Okay.
The price of the dress range, if I recall it right, between $450 and $500. Mind you, Judge, when I spoke on the phone to this gentleman, when he told me about the material effect, I asked him, do you want me to give you more money to
That's not true.
to purchase more material, a better quality of material? The gentleman turned around and said to me, ma'am, it's not necessary for you to give me any more money, okay?
That's not
He
So
said,
what was the agreed upon price, the total amount for the dress?
it was $450.
And you say it was?
$600.
It was $600.
Okay,
because you
why
have
is that
to-
not in the contract? You have a written agreement here. Are these 2 pages, is this the entire contract?
Yes, that's the entire
Okay,
contract.
why won't you put the total cost of the contract in the contract?
The final price of the garment is not decided until I figure out what materials are being used.
And do you have any communication in writing with her once you figured out the materials that you're going to use? Did you tell her this is now what the dress is going to cost?
In writing, no.
Okay, you say you told her that verbally?
Yes.
Okay, and now you see going forward that you need to send an email, a text, or something,
Yes.
because we have 2 different prices
Yes.
in front of me today. According to this contract, she has to put half down.
Yes.
So how much did she give you?
$180.
How much do you say you
I gave him
him?
$200.
And you say that was the first day you showed up when you signed
Yes,
this
that's
contract?
the first day I saw him.
Okay, did you get a receipt?
No, he never gave
No,
me
you
no
did
receipt.
not. All right. Okay, so you say you gave him 200. You say that she gave you 180. And at that time, you didn't have the materials.
No, we were supposed to go to the material
Got
store.
it. Okay, I understand.
Coming up was the day of the prom, the deadline for the dress.
The dress was cut out. Was
Yes.
anything sewn?
No, the appliques weren't sewn onto the dress.
She's expecting to come in and at least be able to pick up the dress. And you're telling me all you had were cutouts?
Tyranne did inform me that my dress wasn't gonna look exactly like how the picture looked. I told him that that's all right, but the bottom of the dress is a big part of the dress in the picture. And I told him, can he make it like that, puffy and straight, like how she has it in the picture? He told me that he can, and I told him if he couldn't, then it won't be a problem. I'll just find somebody else to make my dress or try to find another dress if I couldn't find somebody who can make
But
that.
you all came to an agreement.
Yes, we
And
came to an
going
agreement.
forward, I want you to take me to a week before the prom when you're supposed to pick up the dress. What happens?
Okay, so May 31st we went. He had nothing to show me.
On May 31st?
Yes, May 31st.
He had nothing to show you?
No, nothing to show me.
Is that true?
It's not true, Your Honor.
What did you show them on May 31st?
I showed her the dress that was cut out and the appliques that I was going to put on the dress.
The dress was cut out? Was
Yes.
anything sewn?
The appliques weren't sewn onto the dress.
Was anything sewn?
No, it was cut out.
5 days before the prom?
Ma'am, she didn't pay me a full deposit. At this
Ma'am.
point, I explained to her what had to be paid. The clients who I continued on paid me in full. So it goes by priority.
Paid you in full, like the total amount?
Yes, the full total amount. And I explained to her, your dress is going to be done, yes, but I have to handle these clients first.
Stop. That's not how this works. That's not what your contract says. Your contract clearly states that when a client pays you a down payment, which is half of the final price, once that down payment is made, that you will start production of their order. And that the second payment must be paid upon pickup of the order. Now, you have a client here who's paid you a down payment. You know her prom is June 4th, 2015. She's showing up a week before to try to get the dress. Nowhere in the contract does it state that it's a priority if someone has paid you full price. She's expecting 5 days before the prom to come in and at least be able to pick up the dress. And you're telling me all you had were cutouts? And that you've been communicating with her through this entire process?
Ma'am, that's why I tried
Could
to...
it be that you were in school, this was prom season, you were overwhelmed? Because what you're telling me now, they haven't done anything wrong.
That's what I was trying to tell you was my machines weren't working, and that's the truth. When my machines
Okay,
weren't...
but that's another excuse.
No, it's not an excuse. She didn't pay me a full deposit. That's
Judge
why I
Bates,
didn't
can I say
start on her
something?
dress.
Okay,
And that's what I was trying to tell
What
you.
happens? When do you show up to pick up your dress?
I went May 31st because that's what I have text messages.
And
of
it
him
wasn't
telling me-
ready.
Yes,
When
it's
did you
not
go
ready.
back?
I went back June 4th, 11 p.m.
No,
June
No,
4th?
June 3rd,
June
11 p.m.,
3rd at
sorry.
11 p.m. the night
Yeah.
before the prom?
Yes, night before
And what
prom.
happens when you show up?
I went there, all he had was the cutout fabric and the applique sewn on. That's all he had, and we stayed there till 6 a.m.
You stayed overnight?
Yes.
For what?
Waited for him to make the dress.
So you worked all night, overnight, to make her dress for the next day?
Yes. And she sat there and she told me step by step what she wanted on the dress.
Why is that okay, Mr. Marquis?
Why is it okay?
Yeah, she gave you a deposit back in April. Why does she have to be there all night and give you step-by-step directions on how to make her dress
Because
the
I
night
had
before her
5
prom,
clients
sir?
who were ahead of her who paid me in full.
Were you happy with the dress when
No,
you finished?
I was not, because it was not what I was told that I was gonna get. The bottom was, the tulle looks very cheap. It doesn't look
But you
nothing
told me
like.
where
Did you
to
take
put
the dress?
tulle.
Did you take the dress that night?
No, I did not.
You did not take it,
No, I
and
did
you did
not.
not pay him the rest
No,
of the
I did
money.
not.
Okay, let me see the final dress, sir. You brought it with you today?
Yes.
Coming up on Judge Faith, was the designer a diva or just doing his job?
I called him on the phone and I let him know. I said, this dress is really horrible. He turns around and says to me, you don't talk to me like that. I said to him, you are suspected to get criticism when someone is paying for it. He turns around and say, F you to me.
Let me see the photo of you in the dress. You submitted a photo of you wearing the dress. I want to see that. Okay,
That
that's
is not the
you
same dress.
in his shop wearing the dress. It looks like the same dress.
He added more tulle. If you look at the dress that I'm wearing right here, it was not that full.
Okay,
It was
all
not
right.
that much tulle, and it was not cut like that.
I'm going to step down and take a closer look at this. Yeah, it does look a little fuller now, but let me just take a look. Okay. It's not your best work, Mr. Marquis. It's not your best work. And I actually wouldn't expect it to be because you stayed up all night to do it. And it's just like a student staying up all night to try to cram for an exam. You're trying to get everything done at the last minute. Based on the photos you showed me, you do good work. But you don't do your best work when you're staying up all night trying to cram and get it done and rush. You end up going to the prom and you had to purchase another dress?
Yes, 8 a.m. that morning when the stores opened. We went to around three different stores. We was calling many stores to ask them, do they do alterations the same day? A lot of stores don't do alterations the same day for prom dresses.
Where did you get your dress from?
A place called Chez Moy.
And you brought that dress with you?
Yes, I have brought
Let
that
me see
dress.
that dress.
Can I say something, Judge Faith, please? I called him on the phone when my daughter sent me the picture of the dress, and I let him know. I said, this dress is really horrible. He turns around and says to me, you don't tell me things like that. You don't talk to me like that. I turned around and I said to him, in the field that you're in, you are suspected to get criticism from your work there when someone is paying for it. He turns around and say, F you to me, and then hung the phone up on me. I'm gonna tell you the truth, I did call back the phone and pick up the phone as unanswered, and I responded back and told him to say F you to him too. I did do that because I am entitled, if I'm paying for something, to have my judgment and tell someone how I feel about making someone on the morning of my daughter's prom when she was up 8 hours.
You know how important that event is to a high school senior, right? Going
Yes.
to their prom, and it's her senior prom, it's her senior year. You know, you have one chance to get this right for them. There's no way that she should have been trying on this dress for the first time the night before her prom. It's inexcusable. It's inexcusable. There's no excuse. Clearly, based on the contract that you all entered into, you breached the contract, sir. She paid you half, and the rest of the money was due when she showed up. And it should have been due the week before. I mean, this is not someone who just showed up the night before and hadn't been in contact with you, or even according to your own testimony. She'd been in touch. So if the agreement was as you stated, then you should have something in writing to say, listen, as I have told you, we have spoken, I will not work on your dress unless if you want to amend the contract, then you do so in writing. You tell them, and that's why you have proof to me that it's actually an amended agreement. I will not continue working on your dress because I have other people who have paid full price. I am changing the agreement now, and unless you pay me full price, I won't continue working on your dress. You didn't do that. She doesn't have to agree to amend the contract to those terms. Both of you do. She clearly never agreed to that, and you don't have any proof that she did. I think you do great work. It takes someone with a lot of skill to put together the pieces that you did and that you showed me. I think in this case, you got overwhelmed. You were too busy, you were in school, it's prom season, and you appear to take on too much because you can't tell me that you do your best work from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. in the morning trying to sew a dress for someone. So this is not an indictment on your skill or what you can do, because I think you can do better. But this case, this instance, it wasn't your best work. You're a young entrepreneur. Take this as a learning experience, all right?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's
By the way, great outfit today.
Thank you. I made this. I made this as well.
You made this yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not in no way trying to, make excuses for my actions. Not at all. But I had a great relationship, with the boyfriend's friend. I was trying to I didn't want to tell her I wasn't, able to do it for her. Because like I said again, like you said, it is an important moment, and she didn't tell me she didn't want the dress. So in my mind, she still needs a dress, so when she came in my shop, the night before, yes, I understand that that's not what I should have done, but she guided me step by step. Okay, I want the appliques here. I want the tool here. And that's what I did. So if I did exactly what you did, what you told me to do, should he not be compensated for the job?
You didn't really do the job, though. That's the problem. She had a right to expect the dress to be ready prior to her getting there, sir. She shouldn't have to be there and walk you through step by step and I know you know this. I don't understand why you're telling me this right now. You know that someone shouldn't have to be there for 6 hours telling you step by step how to make their garment. She had an expectation to come in, try on the dress, pick it up, make the payment, and leave. You are suing for the remainder of the balance you say they owe you for finishing the dress and related fees, $980. I'm dismissing your counterclaim. Judgment in this case for the plaintiff, I'm ordering you to return the $200 deposit that she gave you for the dress. In addition, I am going to order $500 in punitive damages in this case. I rarely order punitive damages, but I'm going to tell you why it's appropriate in this case. She showed up the night before her prom. She had to stay up all night long, the night before the prom, watching you sew this dress. She went to the prom the next day. She had to go shopping the next day, last minute, adding stress to the day of her prom. And even at the prom, as she wrote in her paper, she was exhausted because she'd been up all night. And that's because you simply dropped the ball. Judgment in this case for the plaintiff, $700. Good luck.